nothing you've ever seen before. Watch closely as I open this door. Your jaws will be on the floor. After this, you'll be begging for more. Do you want it? Do you need it? Let me hear it. Ladies and gentlemen, do you want it? Let me hear it.
Only on PlayStation 3, starting at $3.99.
So, last day, huh?
Yeah.
It's cool. You got... New job's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
What
I'm
with
kind
the-
of excited.
Fireballs, right? Fireball. Fireball.
I'll make fireballs.
That's awesome. Do you even have to say Hadouken?
Maybe.
Nice.
I'd
Well,
like to.
We're really gonna miss you, but
I miss you guys.
I know it's a good opportunity, and we'll be fine. We've lived through plenty of people leaving before, so we'll be fine. Anyway, the guys and I thought, since this is your last day, that you should kind of be able to do whatever you want. Have run of the entire office.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give you this sparkly pink, glittery, star-covered riding crop that's also pink, and I'm pretty sure that if you have this, that means that you're princess for the day and you can do whatever you want. Or if
Whatever
anyone
I
tries
want?
to stop you, you can hit them or something. I don't know.
Well, that's very different from any other day.
Yeah, much different. Well, other days you didn't have the riding crop.
Cool.
So
I'll
anyway,
try to do good with it.
I'm gonna really miss you, but
I miss you.
enjoy your last day. I think you're gonna have a good time. As many fashion shows as you want.
Oh. Actually, what I'd really like is a gingerbread latte from Starbucks. Maybe a grande, soy, low whip.
Be right back.
Thank you.
Nice. See? Already putting it into action. I love it.
I don't wanna go to work today. Wanna stay home and play all my video games on the One Up Show. You know you'll be a star on the One Up Show. You already are. Every day, this life's a holiday. One up, 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 one up on the One Up Show. One up, 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 one up on the One Up Show.
Yeah, it is. No, it doesn't.
Hey! I found you guys.
Sorry.
You can hide from me no longer. So yeah, let's talk about your little game thing. What's up
Sure,
with that?
yeah. So the game project I've been working on for the past 2 years is called Aquaria. It's kind of like an underwater fantasy, adventure RPG.
It's kind of a hallmark of a good exploratory game is the loneliness there, and
Yeah,
it's just
yeah,
you and the
yeah.
environment. I mean, that was all the Metroids that were good,
Right,
except for the one
right,
where there's a
right.
computer talking your ear
Yeah.
off.
In Metroid, what I really like is that, obviously in the first one, there's the big revelation that
Yeah.
she's a woman at the end. You don't really know her as a person. You get this great sense of loneliness, but you don't really get to know her. And in this game, I think we really wanted you to get to know the characters. So having Jenna Sharp, who's our voice actress, do all the voiceovers was really kind of fundamental to the game experience, I think.
Even though it's the game is very exploratory. It's very driven by narrative as well.
Actually, when we first started working on the game, we had a very elaborate story, and it was very much like kind of a Final Fantasy style story. We had all these like dialogue boxes, that you had to click through, and you're sort of swimming around, and then all of a sudden, boom, you stop playing, and then you're clicking through text and reading text. So in Aquaria, what happens is you're swimming around, and then you come up across something interesting, and then you hear Nigel's voice, and she tells you how she was feeling,
And you can usually still swim around while she's doing
Yeah,
it.
you
I
can
like
always
that too.
keep swimming around.
As if from a dream, I woke to the reality of my existence, to the fact that I was alone. I knew that this world was called Aquaria, and that my name was Naja, but I could recall nothing else. Was I the only one of my kind left? Was I destined to live out the rest of my days in solitude? My heart ached for answers. In time, I would discover far more than I'd wished to learn.
So this is totally indie. Like you guys didn't ever have like focus groups or
No, we didn't.
Well,
like,
God, you're not even like garage programmers. You don't have a garage. You're kind of scattered. How many are there? that work on this?
There are really only two main team members, me and Alec.
so you guys worked on this game in totally separate cities
Yeah.
for the
we
most
did.
part.
Well, Alec lives in Canada. I live here in San Francisco, so we work mostly online, and I mean, I don't know what to say other than that it works for us. I don't know that I can
Right.
really recommend it for other people. Actually, it's really interesting because me and Alec, both of our kind of, respective talents just happen to just fall in areas that are completely different, but mostly cover everything. I think the voice acting was the one part that neither of us
Neither
could
of
do.
you has a good falsetto.
I tried. I think we actually do have recordings of me doing
There was
it.
some other indie game. It was a zombie thing where they actually didn't have a girl to do the voice. They just used a speech synthesizer.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah,
like
yeah.
the one character sounds like a female Stephen Hawking.
Right.
It sounded like shambling.
I will go outside to investigate the noise.
Better you than me.
Hot, 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 hot.
Well, I remember the first I heard you was when I first started doing the freeloader column, and you had done Eternal Daughter.
Yeah, that was like an old hobbyist project of mine.
It was also kind of a Metroidvania exploratory.
Yeah, I'm totally. That's definitely a genre that I'm very interested in, and in a lot of ways, Aquaria has a lot of the things in it that I'd wanted to put into Eternal Daughter, but just never got a chance to for time and technical reasons.
So what were you doing for a real job before you decided? Because now
This is your real job
Now
now.
it's your real job.
What was I doing before is I got out of college. I had a computer science degree. I took a year off because I was so burnt out.
Uh-huh.
I just, I lived with my folks and I was just a complete slacker. Then I moved up here and I immediately started doing freelance work, like artwork, and I actually worked on a lot of games. And that's around when I met Alec. And the way I met him is I was working on this game called I'm Okay, which was it was like a Jack Thompson.
The Modest Proposal.
Yeah,
thing.
a Modest
Yeah.
Proposal. But while we were working on that game, we started talking about games and just, making them. So we started off just kind of fooling around with some ideas, and eventually he showed me this prototype that he had, which is like, it's like proto Aquaria. And it was very simple, but it had the the kind of unique control scheme that is still in the game today. And I thought it was really cool. So we borrowed some money so that we could just work on it day in, day out, like literally day in, day out lots of times. And now it's like, now we're selling it on the PC, so.
And you guys are fully supporting the mod community, obviously, because you're indie.
Yeah, we totally, we released the same tools that Alec and I used to make the game. And people have already started, coming up with some interesting ideas. It's just come out, so we haven't seen any really crazy stuff, but I can tell
totally gonna swap the Nautilus for Garnet's head.
So what's next for you guys? What are you gonna? What's the next 2 years going to be spent doing day in and day out?
It's tough. We're definitely gonna start working on another game. We're trying to use the money we've made responsibly. So yeah, I bought a few Ferraris, just like a few.
Just a couple.
Yeah, just a couple. Because our next game is dogs and Ferraris. It's like
awesome.
That's kind of the future of gaming, in my opinion.
Fuck. Kathleen?
Yeah, what's up?
When am I supposed to get that Street Fighter 4 footage? I mean, I have like 2 hours of interview and no gameplay. Like, what am I supposed to do?
We don't have the Street Fighter 4 footage yet?
No.
The special goes up on the 28th.
I've just been cutting, fucking adding subtitles, and I don't know what to do.
Oh no. Yeah, Capcom, this is Kathleen with the One Up Show. We need that Street Fighter footage, like, now. Actually, we needed it last week. Motherfuckers better get it to us. I want it by end of day. Or heads are gonna fucking roll. It should be here by the end of the day.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. You've seen that seeing is believing. Your ears and your eyes will be bleeding. Please check to see if you're still breathing. Do you need it? Let me hear it. Ladies and gentlemen, do you want it? Do you need it? Let me hear it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Please come inside. Ladies and gentlemen, do you want it? Do you need it? Let me hear it. Ladies and gentlemen, do you want it? Do you need it? Let me hear it.
Only on PlayStation 3, starting at $3.99.
Hey Shane, I know you've got important things to do, but it's my Princess Day, it's my last day. So you gotta, it's the one thing I want, you know what it is.
My Jar Jar dog?
No, we discussed this. Come on, it won't
That's
be.
not even
it won't
a gift.
It is to me.
I can always play later. I was gonna play with some friends online, and I got around to it.
I know, but it would mean a lot to me.
Really?
Yeah. Just mean a lot.
All right, I got time for one. One game.
One game. All right, let's go.
Can I be the guy in the armor or the lizard?
I'm gonna be the guy in the armor.
So I can be the lizard?
You will be the lizard.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
This is the second time that Sony has decided that they should release a kind of like trimmed down half game version of Gran Turismo before the full game gets released.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that?
The full game isn't gonna come out until like maybe next Christmas. It's a long way off.
Yeah, I mean, it's not 100% coming out in 2008.
Right. And, Gran Turismo fans are pretty fanatical.
Gran Turismo fans want their Gran Turismo and they're gonna buy it.
And they'll pay $40 for it.
They will. Which is frustrating to someone like me who can't help but think like, man, $40 for half a game? polish, what is essentially a demo or half a product,
right,
takes a lot of work, and it means that that's not time that they're using to develop the actual product, which is what we really want to come out.
They've also just got finished, putting a demo of this product out, so that's even more time lost.
And that was the second free version of this game, because we got like the free Christmas bonus version of it last year, which has one of the tracks that are in Prologue, the retail release. I like the fact that they added a cockpit view this time. I think that's wonderful.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of detail in that. Like, when your guy's driving along and he reaches down to shift, he actually does it in the cockpit, whether the view's there or not, which is pretty cool. You can't tweak your cars whatsoever.
No, you can't. No.
That's a fundamental part of Gran Turismo, is tweaking your car, especially for the hardcore Gran Turismo fans. Tweaking their car and making it perform at its absolute peak. And you can't do that.
Kind of the most interesting thing about this Prologue to me is like the menu system, and the My Page, and you can see the map and what the temperature is in Zimbabwe or whatever.
Yeah, you definitely.
But that's kind of weird.
You definitely see the direction they're going.
That is the most exciting thing.
One of the most exciting things to me is honestly the GT TV. I don't know if you guys have messed around with that very much. They basically have a deal in place where car companies will be able to debut models during auto shows simultaneously there and in the game. And for hardcore gearheads that are into that, that's going to be awesome.
グランツーリスモにおいても人気の高い三菱ランサーエボリューション
There's a British show called Top Gear, which they plan on distributing episodes of that through GTTV, and you'll actually be able to race on the test track that's actually plays a prominent role in the show. You'll actually be able to race it in the game.
Still though, it is a little too early to sort of jump on this game's case, because the online stuff doesn't really start working until December 25th.
I think we can jump on it for that. Why doesn't it work till December 25th?
But I mean, I want to see what it's going to be like once there's 16-player online racing in Gran Turismo.
The problem for me is the price. You could argue, this time you are getting online play, which is something that you haven't had in a Gran Turismo before. Although it promised it as an add-on for Gran Turismo 4, and then I guess it was supposed to be in 4 before 4 came out. And 4 had a Prologue, which, the thing that you weren't getting there was the online play, and you thought you were waiting till GT4. I mean, they've been promising online play forever, and we still don't have it yet.
Right.
Even though we have the GT5 Prologue disc in our hands, we still can't play online. Having online play in your game is not, something that we're hoping for. It's like, that's a necessity.
Minimum. Yeah, it's minimum requirement.
And we've been playing Burnout Paradise, which kind of, does away with menus, lobbies, and offers this really modern, unique online experience for a racing game. It's like 3 or 4 levels past what you're expecting to get in even GT5 now. And then you look at like the vehicular damage in a game like Burnout, or in Forza, the fact that the same mechanics in GT5 still work, like that you can come rolling up to a corner at near full speed and slam into another car and use it to make your way around a tight corner is just laughable.
Not only does it not hurt you, in some instances, it's actually the correct way to drive to get the fastest way around a turn. The gameplay is still solid, but it is starting to show its age and feel a little stale.
I'm not a car guy. I like racing games, and I like racing. So for me, the fun of the game is in the mechanics and in the tracks. Like, I love having a bunch of different tracks. Whereas I think if I was into the like driving the different cars around the different tracks, then I would get a totally different experience from it. But
yeah, it's kind of a fundamental issue with like really hardcore sim driving games is that when they come out with a new version, it's such like an incremental change. Like in some ways, it's almost imperceptible.
So am I crazy for being so angry with them for releasing this as like a half game with all these? Like, I want all these features. I want the game. I want Gran Turismo to change. I want it to be better than it is now. I'm so glad that Forza exists now to kind of like stick it to them, to show them what they've got to do. They have vehicular damage. They had online play. They took the customization one step further by making it not just about the innards of your car, but then also the exterior. And even Japanese gamers got a big kick out of doing the car customization stuff. They're trying. They're doing something different. If I wanted to play the same game, I have Gran Turismo 3, 4, GT4 Prologue, GT2, GT1. I don't have any of the concept ones, but I have plenty of those games back at my house. I can go play them right now. So if the only added benefit I'm going to get is an HD upgrade, you know, better sound effects, I don't know. That's just not enough for me anymore.
If it doesn't come out here till March or April, it is possible it could be at a lower price point in Japan then, and it could hit Europe and the United States at a lower price point.
The PS3 is not region coded. If you're a gearhead, if you're a Gran Turismo fan that has to have it now, there's no problem importing it and playing it. I mean, you know, sure, there's some Japanese text in the menus, but you're going to be able to figure out what you're doing, you know. Maybe when the game, once online play gets activated on the 25th or whatever, maybe at that point, then I'll shut up and the $40 will be totally worth it. But I'd argue that's a feature I want in the next real Gran Turismo. I want it when it's fully implemented the way that it's actually going to be. That's when I want it. I don't need it now.
I mean, basically, this online play is a beta test for the online functionality of the real game that's coming, you know, hopefully next year.
What's up, Big Willie style?
Whoa! What's going on, Kathleen?
Hey, it's my last day.
Oh shit, that's right.
Don't cry. It's okay.
I'm a man, I don't cry.
Yeah, they've told me that I get all of my fondest hopes and wishes from everybody. It's like Make-A-Wish, only I'm not terminally ill.
That's good.
Anyway, I have a request.
I didn't get the memo, but you know it's your last day, so what the hell?
Yeah. Well, first I want to give you something, which is I'm going to let you keep those wings.
Yes!
Because I like how they look on you.
Thank you.
But second, you remember the pants that you wore for the Wolf Quest segment?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
These pants.
Dude, I thought they were discarded.
No, I kept them safe.
Yes.
I want you to wear those the last day of E3 this year.
Okay.
No matter what the weather, the conditions, no matter whom you might be interviewing, no matter where you might be going, I want you in those pants.
I'd be honored. They make me look good, so this isn't a stretch.
Too.
It's not a stretch.
Other people were
I
uncomfortable.
mean, HR disagrees, but this will be at E3, so
It's at
we
E3.
won't be in the office.
We can break all the rules.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It's like a gift to the future.
It is.
Whomever
Like,
replaces me.
I don't know why anyone would be upset that like wasn't me. So cool.
Glorious.
Thanks.
I look forward to that episode of the One Up Show.
Me too. I want to go in cryogenic sleep and just wake up.
All right. Well, I will see you around.
Well, good luck in Seattle.
I need it. All right. See you.
Miami. 10 more minutes.
The thing is, I guess I really want to like Suda-Goichi, or Suda-51 as we call him in the States. I was a big fan of Killer 7, the art style, the very convoluted, strange plotline, and so on and so forth. And I believe that, you know, as a game producer, he hasn't had his breakout hit yet, and I was hoping that this would be it, but I'm kind of getting the feeling that he still has the art side drilled in very, very good, and still working on the gameplay as a secondary thing, although he did a much better job this time. And I mean, it's a button masher, and there's nothing wrong with being a button masher. I have a friend who designs games, and he was telling me you've got to get this 30 seconds of core good gameplay there, and you can build a whole game around it.
Yeah.
For this, it happens to be, you know, A, swipe, and then your ass is legal tender. I think they didn't overdo the waggle. If they did, you know, you'd be really, really tired because you're swinging all the time.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, because I kind of did expect them to kind of like overdo the waggle, maybe a little bit, you know, just because of the lightsaber sort of thing.
you're punctuating. It's like a sentence, right? You've got a sentence where you're pressing A and B over and over, maybe with the lockdown button held down. And then at the end, you punctuate it by a swipe, and you've got the nice pause, freeze frame. And I don't know about you, but I would get excited when I'd see a bunch of enemies lined up and you saw like the left to the right cut, because you know, oh, all those guys are about to go. And you shake it and you're like, oh. For so long, all you've got is, you've got A, you've got B. If the character is dizzied, you go up and you press B and you can execute all of these suplex moves. Well, it helps a lot with the bosses though, because
that's true.
You just keep attacking and attacking, they'll start blocking you. But if they get dizzy, you stop attacking immediately and grab them.
Yeah.
It does more damage.
Yeah, I couldn't. I fought like a few of those bosses, and I couldn't quite find the right point where you can press B and then just grab them and do it.
When the stars come up here and you hear the birds chirping, you have to immediately let it go, because if you don't, then they'll start blocking, and then you've got to wait for the next big move and the opening to attack.
My problem was I was over slashing, so by that point I screwed up, and they're halfway across the room. I like how it's kind of set up as Grand Theft Auto, but not.
You've got to go through this vacuous city where there's basically nothing but a bunch of buildings that you can't enter.
But the way you do get money is kind of fun, because they're like these little side job missions, these little part-time job missions, and they're simple, but they're kind of like the main game, kind of decently fun. Oh, and there's the little assassination missions, sort of like these time trial sort of things too.
They're essentially, fetch quests. I mean, you run out, you do a thing, and then a new assassination gig will open up, and you'll do that, and then after that, suddenly you've got enough money, so you pop it in the ATM, and then boom, you get your ranking match. And the ranking matches, at least for me, were taking about, 20 minutes apiece.
Quite beautiful, wouldn't you say? Paid for with the lives of many. When you have the strength to take life for yourself, that is true wealth. I am free of desire. So long as I have this scenery to look upon, I need nothing more. Please leave me be.
You're the one leaving.
What'd you think about the story?
Story? Well, it's better than Killer 7 in as much as it doesn't fuck with your brain too much, so that's good. And in general, the acting is better. It's all English voices. A little bit more natural in No More Heroes, and so I like that. And of course, the story itself is, crazy.
Congratulations. You are now ranked 10th.
10th, huh? What? Do I get anything?
How about some cash? That should help you pay the bills.
I'm not feeling the sense of accomplishment that I should here. So I just gotta do this a few more times, right?
If you so choose, yes.
And you will keep your promise?
There is nothing the association cannot do.
And if I refuse?
As the 10th ranked assassin, you are now a target for those who want to replace you. Anytime, anywhere. Number 11 could be right around the corner.
We're talking about the prototypical otaku, the Japanese geek who's got all the little collectible figurines, is big into pro wrestling, has a big poster on the wall that he goes up to and he goes, Moe, right before he starts.
Too.
He is. So he's like that, he's that fantasy.
I think in terms of Travis, the character, I think he's more targeted towards Suda, because, he's that kind of guy. He really does make these games for himself. And if you look at Travis, like you mentioned, all the pro wrestling stuff, Suda loves pro wrestling. He always puts those luchador masks in his games and everything like that. And so it is kind of like this nice little personification of him, too. But I think it's a cool character. I mean, he is a nerd, but he is very brash, too. He is a smart ass. And he dresses okay. You can get all sorts of clothes, too.
Oh, yeah. Travis is a dickhead through most of it. You're going through dealing with all of these different killers, and for most of them that you're dealing with, he has absolutely no remorse about killing them, and he talks up himself a lot. But if you notice at the same time, when he encounters women, he behaves a tad differently when the fight is over. You'll notice that there is kind of a softer side to him.
Sort of like a little reflective pause, maybe.
It almost makes you wonder if there's going to be more character development. Like, he's not as paper thin as he's made out to be, even though that's deliberate and it works fine for the game.
Yeah, you're right.
Before you have your actual ranked match in every level, Sylvia will give you a call, and it comes in only through the Wiimote, so you're holding it up and you're walking slow speed, and she's telling you, I'm 500% certain that you're gonna die this time, but are your teeth clean? Is your bladder being urgent?
You almost want to turn the remote volume down just so you can look stupid and want to hold it up.
My remote volume was actually down, so when it rang, I was just like, she's talking to me, and I started listening to it, and the funny thing was my girlfriend was watching me play, and she was like, what happened? I was like, apparently I'm about to die.
The overall graphics, I mean, it's not quite as good as Killer 7. I mean, I guess because, you don't have Capcom backing you or anything, but I think in general the art is pretty good. The dialogue boxes are the rolling paper, the wallpaper sort of effect, and and when you go to the bathroom to save, all the toilet paper comes flying on the screen. All the dot graphics around and like the menus and stuff.
Oh yeah, and the classic sound effects.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Like when you get your ranking and it's like dun, 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 and it looks all 8-bit.
Like a screen.
Yeah, I love that.
Detrimental too, like in the mini map, because it's all pixel mini map, and it kind of juts
almost
up and down.
unreadable.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to navigate around with that. But
I think if you got an import capable Wii, that you could play this. All of the dialogue is in English. A lot of the screen, the on-screen dialogue is also in English. The American version is supposed to be very graphic, lots of blood and dismemberment, and none of that's in the Japanese version. Everyone just explodes into ash.
You could buy it right now if you really wanted to. If you're like me and you're kind of like this die-hard Grasshopper fan who wants to get everything, like
and you have a Japanese Wii.
Yeah, exactly. But just wait till February if you like the good kind of like beat 'em ups, reams and reams of same looking dudes coming at you all the time. It is like a beat 'em up version of Zelda, because you run through the temple, we'll say, and then go and beat the boss and you get a heart container. But it's much more linear.
And then there's a fetch quest. It's exactly like Zelda, right?
Exactly.
If you know what you're stepping into when you get this game, I think you're not going to be disappointed. The visceral feeling is there. The waggle is not overdone. And if you're looking for action, you want a few laughs at the expense of a bunch of people exploding into a shower of coins, you're gonna be happy.
Only on PlayStation 3, starting at $3.99.
Oh my god, I got it. It's here. Can check it out.
Street Fighter? You got shit up! Oh, shit! Crap!
Oh, shit!
Whoa!
Guys!
What's up with that dick?
Oh,
Check it out! It's you! Damn!
Whoa!
Dragon Punch! Do it!